Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2018, the album Dad AF, silverdaddy.com. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Beast! See, I can be a rapper too. Anyway, y'all knew I was gonna make this video, okay? About 8 months ago, I made a video talking about Christine Sydelko and Elijah Daniel and their friendship, and I said, I predicted, okay, because I am the psychic of YouTube. I am going to make a video talking about all of my predictions. I just want to put this out there because I was thinking about this last night. I was like, well, what would I predict in 2019? And immediately, my initial gut feeling was that Colleen Ballinger, Miranda Sings, is going to get pregnant very, very soon after she delivers her child. So, we'll see if that happens. That's my prediction for 2019. I have other predictions as well. So, would you guys like to see a whole prediction video? Because I am the psychic of YouTube. I have proven that at this point because one of the things I said, especially the timing is important, okay, was when Christine and Elijah were still thick as thieves, best friends, and I said, this friendship is going to end, they're going to go their separate ways, and it's going to get ugly, is what I said. Well, last night, y'all, it got ugly, okay? Up to this point, they have been trying to play it off like they professionally took a break, even though everybody knew that wasn't the case, and all this kind of stuff. Well, last night on the Twitter, I mean, listen, it's 2018, okay? When you're grown folk doing grown folk things and you want to get in an argument, why not have it on Twitter? I mean, that just makes no sense to me. Instead of calling somebody up on the phone on old Judy and saying, hey, bitch, you pissed me off, okay? Why not have it on Twitter? We want the whole world to see it, okay? Tell on somebody on the internet. That's why we got drama channels. Before we get into this, speaking of drama channels, we got to talk about this in context. Now, context, we have found recently, okay, is very, very important. So, before I can get into this whole tweet war that happened between Christine and Elijah, I have to talk about this video that Elijah put out yesterday. Elijah Daniel put out this video, and it was called David Dobrik is a ... I'm not going to even say it on here, okay? Now, I will tell you that it was very, very interesting what he talked about in this video. It was and a lot of people are having an issue with it because of the clickbait title. For example, somebody commented on the video, and they said, this clickbait title is so wrong. You said people change, and obviously David isn't any of those things. People are going to look at the title and not watch the video and think he is still like that. And I really, really agree with that. I think that you have to be very, very careful of what you title your videos. I think knowing that, we probably know Elijah doesn't really give a shit about that, right? He's going to say what he has to say. What's interesting to me about that is, had he not titled that, okay? Had he just called the video something like, just effing apologize, or something like that, I think the video would be taken in a completely different way. And I even messaged him, and he hasn't responded. I mean, I said in there, not that my opinion matters, but I actually thought it was like a thoughtful video. He says in there, you know, that the internet has changed a lot from 2012 to today, which is true, you know? And it doesn't, you know, make up for the fact that all of what these people are saying was inappropriate, because we knew then that it was inappropriate, okay? We knew that what people were putting out there in the world that was inappropriate wasn't right. I don't think that we lived in such a world where everybody was so social justice towards it, and that's kind of what he says in there. He's not excusing their behavior. He doesn't excuse it at all. In fact, he goes overboard with saying, I'm not saying it's right, okay? But then he goes in and he talks about the apology part, and that was the part that I really, really agree with. And he was like, we don't need a 14-minute video of you crying with one single fake tear, okay? We just need you to get on video and fucking own your shit and say, I just wanted attention. That's why I tweeted this ugly thing out. It wasn't appropriate. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. Not, I'm sorry if your feelings were, you know. And he goes in this, and what he says in there is very, very correct, okay? It's like, just come out and own your shit. I say that in all my videos. So he put that video out, and I was like, okay, like, you know, I agree with this. But when I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, why the hell did he title it this thing? I just did not understand it, right? The reason why is because he's using David Dobrik as an example in the video. You can go in there and he reads some tweets from David Dobrik from the past where he made some homophobic tweets and things like that. Which, you know, in 2018, where we're at today on the heels of all the stuff that happened in the beauty influencer community, that's kind of dangerous to put out there, because people that were not, especially with David's ex-girlfriend, you know, Liza Koshy, and she's getting a lot of attention right now for some tweets that she made and some things that she said. You know, it's dangerous because he goes in there and he talks about David being the golden child of YouTube. Well, now you're bringing attention negatively to him about things that people weren't focusing on to begin with. So I did think that it was dangerous what he did with this title, when he could have just simply called the video How to Apologize, okay? Or just fucking apologize, or whatever he wanted to say. So, but the apology part was just straight on, where he was like, you know, just come right out, just apologize, just don't be sitting here making fight. You don't need to make all these excuses for why you did it, and you were ignorant, and you didn't know where you were from, and all this kind of stuff. And we all feel the same way about that, okay? Just for example, reference Laura Lee's apology video. That's all it needs to be said. But then, okay, it gets deep. Because Christine Sydelko, his ex-friend, who we thought were just ex-business partners, we didn't know. I mean, who are we? Because if you don't know, what you don't know is a lot. She's been hanging out. Now she got her new good Judy, Chris Clemens, okay? And one of her last videos, if not her last video, was her and Chris Clemens watching back her old vlogs with Elijah Daniel. Ain't that rich, okay? So, I don't know who's riding who's dick harder, but I love Christine. I think Christine is hilarious. I have said from the get-go, okay, that she was the comedic genius of this duo. I've always said that, and that the problem was that Elijah Daniel didn't know his place, okay? That Elijah Daniel was the sidekick, and we all got a place. We all got a role to play, okay? We all know that. It's not like I'm Shane Dawson, I'm a fucking drama channel. I know who I am. Know your place, okay? He did very well as a sidekick. When he wanted to be the center spotlight, okay? When he was like, I ain't being no Kelly Rowland anymore, I'm fucking Beyonce, is when it burned him in the ass. You don't believe me? Go look at his social blade. He don't even really care about YouTube anymore. He made this video, he hadn't made a video in forever, okay? But I think everybody that knows anything knows that Christine was the comedian. I found Christine like a year and a half ago. I made a video about her when she literally had, I don't know, like 100,000 subscribers, if less. I mean, I think she had like 80 or something. And she did this video about the MagCon thing. And she's reading these, comments back that these people left on her. It's hilarious. If you've never seen this video, this is Christine Sydelko. Okay, I mean, it's hilarious. And then she started doing these rant videos, some in her car, but the one that I remember was where she was drinking like tea out of a little teacup, like a Demi-Tasse cup, and she's doing shots of like, hot damn or something like that. And she's doing rant videos, and it's hilarious, okay? And that was where she started, and I would really like to see her get back to that. I have an issue with all of these YouTube comedians anyway, like Hannah Hart, who did My Drunk Kitchen. It's like they get so famous and then they stop doing what got them famous. If what you're doing is working, don't change it. You know, like I miss those My Drunk Kitchen days. I thought that shit was hilarious, right? Christine, go back to what you were doing. People love that shit. And her channel's growing. Her channel's doing very, very well right now. So anyway, on the heels of this video that Elijah puts out, Christine tweets out, get ready, okay? She tweets out, quote, because he says this in his video, canceling people for things they said when they were 16 isn't fair. We all said dumb things when we were young. And then she does a little asterisk. Posts clickbait video trying to cancel one of the biggest YouTubers in the world for things he tweeted when he was 16. Did you see the fan coming? Lived. Okay, I was like, ooh, she just canceled Elijah. So then, okay, people are coming for her and they're saying all this kind of stuff in the comment sections. And they're, you know, wow, legends supporting legends. And she's saying all this kind of stuff. And then she says, I'm not defending anyone. It's just the fact that people can't see through this bullshit is astounding to me. Like, it pisses me off seeing people praise the fakest person I've ever met for being real, okay? So what she's saying is that Elijah Daniel, her old good Judy, that was in all of her videos, okay, that we all sat there and watched on the sidelines and said to her, we're screaming it, Christine, we believed in you, Christine. Get rid of him, Christine. We're tired of him, okay? And he's back in the back. Christine, Christine, Christine. I was so tired of it, okay? I was like, my God, what happened to this guy? And so anyway, so she finally calls him out for being fake, right? Which, when I messaged him and said, I liked your video, what you said about the apology, I sure as shit didn't see this coming. So then he tweets out because somebody says to him, Please defend yourself, King. I'm so tired of her trying to drag you. And he responds back and says, no, I've said nothing negative about her, and I'm not going to start now. We don't even talk anymore, and I still talk to her manager every week, checking on her. I'll always be the villain. I don't care anymore, LOL. And then his boyfriend, Dr. Woke, underneath there says, I have instilled positive vibes into Elijah. Don't encourage negative behavior. And then somebody says, wasn't telling him to drag her, just to defend himself. No bad vibes, just hate seeing her constantly do this to him. And it goes back and forth, and some people are Christine fans, and some are Elijah fans. And that's part of the problem when you're a duo, is when you break up. You know, it's like, did you ever break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and you split friends, and you know it's going to happen, right? But it's never the friends you think it's going to be. It's like you call up your friend Sally, and you're like, hey, Sally, would you like to go to dinner tonight? And she's like, well, yeah, I'm real busy tonight. Okay, well, what about tomorrow night? Maybe we go get a pedicure and then we go out to dinner. Oh, well, I have dinner plans tomorrow night with Tom, you know? And you're like, with Tom? What do you mean you're having dinner plans with my ex? We just saw this on the Real Housewives of Orange County, okay? Vicky don't care. Vicky, the OG and OC, she set people up left and right. So when you split up as a duo, okay, somebody gets fucked. Well, Elijah got fucked in this. Now, he says in a tweet later on, somebody says something to him about get fucked, and he says, you're right, I need to be more versed. Girl, we didn't need to know all that about your sexual life. Okay. And so anyway, he says this, and she retweets it, and she says, it's funny you use the word villain, because I distinctly remember you debating whether or not to go full villain to gain fans after the channel breakup. I'm like, okay, so now Christine is speaking her truth. But here's what I don't understand, okay? Y'all aren't famous because of Twitter. Well, I mean, he kind of is, because he tweeted the president and some shit, right? But everybody knows them from YouTube. Get on video and talk about it on video, Christine, okay? If you're going to tweet about it, get on video and tell your truth. Your fans want to know. They've wondered forever what went on between you and Elijah, okay? You allowed him on your channel. You guys were friends. You backed each other in videos. You have this breakup that's supposedly professional. We decided to go. We all knew that was bullshit. Stop tweeting about it. Get on video and tell your truth. We just want to know, okay? This is a visual medium. I don't understand. Like, I say this in all of these apology videos. This is so baffling to me, right? YouTubers making apologies or telling their truth on Twitter. Okay, it doesn't make any sense because YouTube is a visual platform. We watch your videos. We fall in love with you via YouTube through videos. Seeing you, it's like live action, okay? Get on video, tell your truth. You got Chris Clemens, he can sit there with you. Okay, so then she says, and this is the best, right? Because she really calls him out on this one. Elijah was a terrible friend to me. He gaslit me, lied to me about business things, never followed through on promises, refused to talk out any issues in person, ruined brand deals with his narcissism, and left me hanging constantly while always expecting me to bail him out. And, you know, like, those are some pretty serious allegations. You know, like, this isn't just broken friendships at this point. This is, like, broken business deals. And, you know, I'll tell you, it's interesting because I watch, I'm a huge fan of Johnny McGovern on Hey Queen. And there was for a while there, he wasn't just doing RuPaul's Drag Queens. He was doing a lot of YouTubers, and he had Shane Dawson on there. It was a fantastic interview. Go watch that. It's when Shane has his leg in a cast. And then he did Christine and Elijah. And what was interesting to me about watching that interview was that it really felt more like watching Elijah and Christine. Like, that was, for me, where the switch started taking place, was when they were getting a lot of attention. And I don't think it would surprise anybody that, to some degree, I think that Elijah craves positive attention. I don't know. Like, you know, he talks a lot about being bullied as a kid. I've talked a lot about that too. Validation and acceptance are important to me on some level. The difference is I don't have any problem getting on camera and saying it, okay? When people say nice things to me, it feels good. When people like me, it feels nice. Don't y'all like when people say nice things to you? I mean, how does it feel to you when somebody comes up and goes, you're fucking ugly, okay? Or if somebody says something to you about your weight. Because I don't like it when somebody comes up to me and says something about my weight. And it's happened, okay? But when somebody comes up to me and says, you have such pretty eyes, or I love your hair. I'm like, oh, really? Tell me more, tell me more. You know what I mean? So when people say, like, I like your videos, they're funny. Of course we like that. When people find us something about us endearing, don't you like that, okay? So for somebody to say, oh, no, I'm not attention seeking, or I don't like bullshit, okay? Bullshit. Because I think that most of us out there, right, especially if we end up on YouTube, Toddy Westbrook just said this in her video today, and I thought it was so true. Most of us were the weird kids. We were the kids that never fit in. We were the kids that just wanted to be accepted or be liked by somebody, you know, and most of the people out there that watch videos relate to that on some level because they see something in us that they relate to. So a lot of his behaviors are attention seeking. So it makes total sense that at some point, him being the sidekick to Christine wasn't going to be enough, which is why he has started this illustrious rap career, okay, with Tana Mojo and Bella Thorne. Those three right there, okay, they are just a train wreck waiting to happen. I've said this in videos for a very, very long time. It is what it is. We'll see what happens. So let's go in here and see what she says again. Elijah was a terrible friend to me. He gaslit me, lied to me about business things, never followed through on promises, refused to talk out any issues in person, ruined brand deals with his narcissism, and left me hanging constantly while always expecting me to bail him out. And then she did the middle finger. Now, what's interesting is if you go back to his video, he jokes in there about everybody canceling everybody, everybody canceling everybody. I think Christine just canceled you, Elijah. I mean, quite frankly, she just told the truth on you. Somebody needs to come out and tell the truth, whether it's you or whether it's Christine. I mean, what's the truth? And I think that your fans deserve to know the truth of what really happened with this friendship. Like, you guys built each other up. People followed you because of your interactions together to some degree. People unfollowed you because of your breaking up. They followed one or they followed the other. People have a right to know what really went on to both of you, okay? Not just one side. I think y'all should both come out. So then this Aiden says, "Okay, but can't you both just talk it out in the DMs or even better in person and apologize to each other like actual adults instead of crying to each other's fans on Twitter?" Well, Aiden, I think that's actually a very interesting comment that you made, and I'll tell you why. Because in the video, Elijah goes on and says, when you've done something fucked up, just apologize for it. We don't need a 14-minute video. Okay. So if any of this is true, Elijah, maybe you could just get on video and say, "Hey, Christine, I was a shitty friend to you. I'm really sorry that I gaslit you, lied to you about business things, never followed through on my promises," or never is kind of a hard word, sometimes didn't follow through on my promises, refused to talk out issues in person, maybe because you wouldn't listen, I don't know, ruined brand deals with my narcissism, and left you hanging constantly because I expected you to bail me out. Is that hard? Like, you just said it in the video, so are you going to apologize to her publicly, like you said? I mean, it's just not that deep, okay? And yes, I don't understand why what has really gone so wrong in this friendship that they cannot just pick up the phone and apologize to one another. I just don't understand this. So then he says something about it, her manager, and then somebody tweets and says to him and her, "When you're literally the one who calls her fucking manager to check on her every week like a completely clinging asshole, you just can't accept she's happy without you and that she wants to get this shit." And then it's, okay, I didn't read, it's just a screenshot, see? And then he retweets it and says, "I talked to her manager still because he doesn't know how to manage her manic episodes and ask for help, you asshole. I'm so sick of this fucking bullshit. I never played victim. I apologize for anything that happened a year ago and I haven't mentioned her since, not one negative thing." So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that's true? He doesn't actually, it's interesting because he doesn't go in here and say as much as she does. I mean, he doesn't bash her in any kind of way, but maybe he can't. I mean, maybe everything that she said is absolutely true, you know? Maybe it really it is all on him. I mean, it seems to tend to be that way just a little bit. And when you go in here, if you go underneath his comment where he says, "No, I've said nothing negative about her, and I'm not going to start now. We don't even talk anymore, and I still talk to her manager every week, checking on her. I'll always be the villain. I don't care anymore." I mean, you know, why don't you guys talk anymore? I mean, that's what I want to know, and that part made me sadder than any of it. It's like, you guys were really great friends at one point, and supposedly it says in here that, you know, like Christine has mentioned that she stopped hanging out with him because of the drinking. It was just too much for her. Okay, I understand that, but to not talk to somebody anymore, and then this whole facade of the Bella and the Tana thing, and you guys all being friends, does that mean that you're not friends with Tana and Bella and Bella Thorne and all these people anymore? I mean, like, is that done too? Like, what went down? Like, people deserve to know. Like, I think they have a right to know. And if you go underneath here, it's interesting because This Joshua Grimes says he's the one who became her friend and left her after he got famous and became friends with Bella Throne and Tana Mongeau. And then people get into fights over it. This little disappointment said, he didn't leave her, she left him. I hate when people do all caps. There's no reason to scream. I scream in my videos because I'm almost deaf in one of my ears, but you don't need to scream on Twitter, okay? We can read. He didn't leave her, she left him. They have both been friends with Tana for a while before they split up. And he became friends with Bella when they did a song together, Get Your Statements Right. He got closer to Tana, and as Joshua says, he got closer to Tana and then slowly attached to Tana and left Christine, Don't Try Me. If she left, then there would have been more vlogs before she left because he's the one who records them. She found other people because via one of her recent tweets, he did nothing but treat her like shit. Okay, so this is the problem right here, okay? And if you go underneath the thread, it's fans of Christine fighting with fans of Elijah's, okay? So somebody come out on video and tell the truth. Or why don't you two get together, okay? Humble up, sit down on video and say, this is why we broke up. Or if you can't do that because you really dislike the other person, get on video and just tell your truth. Let the other person respond to it. Make 5 or 6 videos going back and forth. I looked at your social blade. It wouldn't hurt either one of you, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, you could use the views. So, I mean, just get on video and tell your truth. We want to see it. We want to know what really happened, you know? I know it won't happen, but I don't know. Actually, I could kind of see Christine getting on video and saying that. I could see her getting on video and kind of really talking about it. We'll see. What do you guys think that should happen? Do you think that one of them should get on video and talk about it? I do. I want to see it. I want to see it all day long. And you know if they do, then I'm going to make commentary on it. Glamour shots. Anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.